So today I'm going to show you how to make the old school classic, the Victoria sponge. It's a super easy cake to make, it's delicious. Now the first thing you need to learn is that everything needs to be at the same temperature. Room temperature makes the best cake. So your butter should have been out for a while and it's really soft, but it's not greasy. So it's really important, that way you get a lighter cake. The eggs I've had sat in warm water for 15-20 minutes, and that way what happens is the inside of the egg gets to room temperature as well. And it just means that everything will combine a little easier and the cake will be as light as possible. So what we're going to do is, first thing is add the butter to the mixer. You can do this with a hand mixer if you don't have a stand mixer, that's fine. And you can also do it by hand with a wooden spoon, it'll just take a little longer. So add this to the mixer along with the sugar. And what we're going to do is beat this together for about 5 minutes until it's light and creamy, and don't skimp on this, it takes time. So after about 5 minutes the mixture is going to be really light and fluffy, and it will also lighten slightly in colour. It shows you that there's lots of air in that mixture and it's going to be a really nice light cake. So next stage, just going to add a level teaspoon of baking powder to the self-raising flour, and that's just going to give it a little extra lift, just to make it the lightest possible cake. Just mix that in with a whisk. And then what we're going to do is start adding the eggs, just a little bit at a time. So, just crack those straight in. So what you're going to do is just lightly whisk these together. And then we're just going to add a little bit at a time. And then what you want to do is make sure that you beat each addition of egg fully before you add any more, and that will help the mixture from splitting. So turn the mixer on, just to medium this time, and just a little bit at a time. And then after every addition, make sure it's fully beaten in, at least 10-15 seconds until it's fully combined. So once all the eggs are in there, we're going to start adding the flour. Now you just want to do this about in 2 or 3 additions, and you don't want to put the mixture on high speed, just on low speed, just to combine it evenly. So just a little bit at a time. You could fold this in as well, but if you put it on low speed, it'll be fine. And once it's just about combined, you can start adding the next mixture. The reason you don't want to mix it on too high a speed is you're going to make the cake tough, so low speed is good to make a light, soft sponge. So add the final bit of flour, and also about a teaspoonful of vanilla extract. Don't need too much. And just mix that together. And what you want to do now, once this is fully mixed, is what's called what I call the dollop test. The batter should fall from the spatula in a nice even dollop. So the way to test the batter is ready and at the right texture is if you just take some on your spatula and hold it above the bowl. If it sticks a little bit like that, then just work in a tablespoon or 2 of milk just until it loosens, and then retest it. And this is called the dropping stage. It's just to get the batter to the right texture so you get a nice, light, even sponge. So it's a lot lighter. It kind of drops in a dollop, like that. So it's much, much smoother, and you can see in the texture it's a little smoother as well. So, once the cake batter's done, we're going to divide it between the 2 cake tins. So, because I like things to be accurate, I'm going to weigh it. You don't have to weigh it, but it's just to kind of get a nice accurate level to make sure they're both roughly around the same weight. So make sure you get all those last little bits out, or if you've got someone who likes eating cake batter, just pass them the bowl and they can sneakily eat the rest. What you want to do then is, this is my favourite tool in the kitchen at all, nice little offset spatula, and you just want to spread the cake out. You don't need to do it perfectly, just so it's nice and level. So just spread it out like this. until the cake is nice and even. And they both want to go into the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 25 minutes. So the ways to test that the cakes are actually done, there's a couple of different ways. First of all, if you lightly press the cakes, it should spring back to your touch. The cake should also be coming away from the edge of the tin. If you also take a toothpick and insert that into the middle of the cake, it shouldn't come out with any raw batter, just maybe a couple of crumbs on there, but nothing wet. And that shows that they're perfectly ready. What you want to do is let them cool in the tin for about 5-10 minutes, and then carefully take them out and put them on the wire rack to cool completely. So when the cake's baked, you'll have two lovely layers, nice and golden. All you want to do is make sure that the parchment is clear off, because you don't want to eat parchment. And what you want to make sure is that when you are filling this with the cream and the jam, that you make sure till they're nice and cool, because otherwise the cream is going to melt and it's going to look gross. So make sure it's fully cool. What we're going to do is just whip up some cream and fill it with the jam and cream, really nice and easy. So once the cream is nice and pillowy and soft, set that aside for a second, and we can fill the cake. So if you want to be pretty, put the cake on a cake stand, and then what you can do is just spread it with a little bit of raspberry jam. So just spread that over the cake, all the way to the edge. And you just want a nice, even, thin layer so that every slice gets a nice piece of jam. And take the cream and just carefully spread it over the cake. So try not to disturb the jam, leaving it in a nice even layer. Spread that out nice and evenly like so. And then top with the second layer of cake. Like that. Just press down till the cream pops out a little bit. And then take a little bit of icing sugar, or caster sugar, and just sprinkle over the cake. Like that. And that is your perfectly classic and absolutely delicious Victoria sponge. Super simple, everybody loves it, and it tastes amazing.